What's up, everyone? I'm Don Ferguson, and welcome back to another action-packed episode of something new in the Teeqlife Basement Bar. I don't know how much action it actually is, but it's kind of action for me because I'm drinking, and today we are trying tequila. Before we get to tasting and talking about this brand that we've had on the Teeqlife platform before, be sure to check out our digital media partner, Tequila and Spirits Magazine, to get a free magazine subscription, and hashtag Find the Bird. Go over to Instagram, follow it. Yes, I let the cat out of the bag already, tequila. How could I hide this bottle? Look at this, unbelievable. It's a sculpture, people. You might recognize it because we've had Amorada Tequila on before. So let's get to cracking, talking, tasting, reviewing. Just roll the intro. Boom. If you're new to the Teeqlife platform, before we taste, we talk about it. Today is something special. Yes, we've had Amorada Tequila on before, but this is their Añejo. We tried the silver and the reposado, so be sure to check out a previous episode so you can learn all about their reposado and silver. Amorada, now what does that mean? So it stems from enamorada, which means in love. And as I talked about on that previous episode, how can you not love that bottle? This, we're going to get into a little bit more as far as the details because I have some more. I have more details, people. I do the research here. I'm a professional intoxicologist. Look at that. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's like a bag of Skittles, but much more delicious. And alcohol. Let's jump to the particulars. It's NAM 1463, and when I looked up the NAM as far as the distillery, this is the biggest brand that I can tell coming out of that distillery. Now this Añejo is 80 proof and it's aged 18 months in both white oak barrels, ex-bourbon barrels from what I see, and French cognac barrels. Don, how can it be aged in 2 barrels? Like, how do they do that? So whenever I say it's rested in different barrels, here's kind of what happens in the industry. Is they will rest it a portion of the time in one barrel and then they will finish it or they will transfer it to another barrel to give it a little bit more of a unique complexity. French cognac barrels are going to have a sweetness to it. It's going to be a little bit more robust and have depth of characters compared to a white oak barrel, a bourbon barrel, whiskey barrel, whatever it may be. And then you can throw wine barrels in there and give it a whole different complexity. It's very unique what they're doing. But this one, ex-bourbon barrels, American white oak, and then French cognac, man, this could be incredible. People, this is a woman-owned brand. Now, I did talk about it on a previous episode, but I really want to go in depth with it again because it's really important that we tell the stories behind the brands. These aren't just some big, giant conglomerates that throw multi-million. Well, there are those brands out there, or celebrity-owned brands. But Terray Glassman, you know, she is from Mexico City originally, and when she was 7, she moved to El Paso, Texas. She always had a love for her Mexican heritage, and one day, later in life, not as a 7-year-old, she decided to come out with a super premium sipping tequila. Something that was really smooth on the palate, it was very tasteful, and didn't have that typical tequila burn. You guys know what the tequila burn is, right? It's when you do a shot of tequila and you make that face like you're, you're passing a kidney stone. That's the tequila face. I like to call it the scrunchy face, but that's not what Terray wanted to create. Terray wanted to create a tequila for the sophisticated palate. I think that would be me. And it took about 5 years to develop Amorada Tequila. Many trips to Mexico, many tasting sessions. We need to get in on one of those tasting sessions. And she launched Amorada Halloween 2014, just before a very big holiday. Do you know what I'm talking about? Dia de los Muertos? Yes, lots of tequila. So we talked a lot about this brand. We need to crack it open and taste. Let's roll over here. Pop. Now, the synthetic cork, and there's a lot going on with this top. We did talk about it. I'm going to showcase it again. I might as well just do it right now because we got to get it out of the way. But this is a very unique top. It's a very unique bottle, and there's something I just learned about it that I'm going to share when we talk about it. But this topper, it's an aerator. I showed you guys this before. Look at that. So what it does is it fills up with, tequila. God, I was waiting for you to say something. And then it empties back in. Now, why does it do that? Well, think of wine. When you aerate wine, or a lot of people with a higher proof whiskey, bourbon, even with my añejos or extra añejos, what I'll do is I'll pour them in the grass. Obviously, I can't talk because I'm excited to drink some tequila. When you pour it in the glass and let it aerate, it's been sealed in this bottle. It opens up a lot of those flavors, and that's exactly how you want to taste, a fine scotch, whiskey, bourbon, tequila, even mezcal. Now, because I can aerate it, I don't necessarily have to pour it right off the bat and let it aerate. So we're going to keep it in here, and we're going to talk about this bottle. We did do a lot of chatting about the bottle on a previous episode, and I keep talking about the previous episode because you gotta check it out. It is definitely, well, I'm not even gonna say if it's Teeqlife approved. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe you just gotta watch and see. This Amorada tequila bottle is hand sculpted. It's patented as well because of this very unique, and I have not seen this. I've seen some toppers that do house some tequila. It's like an extra emergency shot. If you're just really parched and you got to break something, you can do it. But this actually serves a purpose. There's a function to it. And then what I learned is, I don't know if you can see it, but the signature, the written Amorada, is Terray Glassman's signature when it comes to writing the brand, because there's a little heart. Really unique, and I just learned that. I didn't know that before in the last episode. I didn't even know this was a patented bottle. I'm holding a patented bottle right here, and soon we're gonna drink it. Let's get a little pour. We're gonna let it aerate a little bit. So there's two things about the bottle. Now, it is very, very large on the bottom, so that way, large on the bottom. So that way, it takes up some shelf space. That's one of the things. It's hard to have 3, bottles or more of this. And the other thing is, it's really difficult to see. So if it's on the shelf, you really got to get close to it. Those are just two of the things, but this bottle design is like none other, so it is recognizable, even if you can't see it. Color, look at that. It's like a beautiful copper. Look at, wow, the legs are just really trickling down. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is already filling the air. All of these aromas, it's like the genie in the bottle. You let it out, it's gonna grant me 3 wishes, and all of them are going to include probably getting drunk. It's just one of my wishes. But I'm telling you, it's a beautiful, look at that in the light. Absolutely gorgeous. And the legs are really nice, beating up. This is going for the nosing. Since it's already filling the air, it's like a puff of smoke. Ooh. So, a slight sweetness on that second. So, I'm getting a lot, actually. I'm getting oak. I'm getting some of that sweetness. So you're getting a subtle cooked agave. You're getting a little bit of vanilla. And I am getting, it's not a lot of like bourbon oak. You can tell that there's something going on because it's very different. You almost get a little bourbon oak, and then on the back end of it, I'm going to get a nice sweetness as well. And that could be from the cooked agave, obviously, but then also on top of it, it could be from that French oak. There's a little bit of banana. Interesting. A little bit of banana. Not a lot of ethanol, not a lot of alcohol vapors, which is really nice. I didn't expect much typically from an aged, and it's not over 80 proof, so it's not going to be so potent, that it's like looking at the sun during an eclipse. It's very nice. Very, very, very nice. We just need to taste. Come on. Let's just swirl it around, even though we aerated it in that patented bottle. Oh, okay. Very nice. Little slight pepper. Very smooth though. Nothing that's going to give you that scrunchy face that we talked about earlier. I see people do it all the time. It cracks me up. It's like they take a shot. And that's where the lime or the lemon or even orange comes into play with salt, because it masks bad tequila. You see, I didn't have to do that. It's going for round 2. It's like a Rocky fight. That's where it starts to, really come in. It's like walking into a house, and then on the second sip, you're taking your shoes off, you're starting to get comfortable. I'm getting some oak. I'm getting a little bit of caramel. Or is it caramel? Could be. Vanilla. There's definitely some vanilla in here. Butterscotch. There's a trace of butterscotch, which is really delightful. There's been a couple tequilas that I've had that have had butterscotch, and they drive me crazy. I absolutely love them. It's going for the 3rd time's a charm, people. Oh, nice sweetness, but it's not overly crazy. It's not artificial. It's a sweetness where it kind of rises and then just stays steady. So it's nothing that's going to be really sweet. And there are those tequilas out there, and there's people that love those types of tequilas where they're a little bit sweeter. This one is really nice. So it's a nice sipping tequila. Has a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of pepper. I am picking up a little banana. It's just kind of resting there. Not an artificial banana, not like a now and later, anything like that. A little bit of cinnamon. Almost like a leather or a tobacco, which is really, now that could be from the barrels as well. Definitely could be. Let's do number 4. And we'll get into, is it Teeqlife approved? I did a bigger one that time, and that is really nice. Really smooth. Has nice light flavors. It's not oily. There's just a lot of good stuff going on in this tequila. I really, really do like it. That little hint of butterscotch just really sets it off. Tiny bit of vanilla, not overly powerful. Oak, caramel. Yep. Boom. Teeqlife approved. It is absolutely an exceptional sipper. This is an ultra premium, folks, so it is going to have a little bit of a higher price point, but this isn't something that you bring out every day. You're not going to make margaritas with this one. So my glass is down to the down, and that wraps up another episode of something new in the Teeqlife Basement Bar. Amorada Anejo Tequila, 100% Teeqlife approved. And it's crazy because I'm really getting that banana, and it's not overpowering, and it's not like, a fake spiced rum banana or anything like that. It's just very subtle, and it gives such a different character to it. This is absolutely a phenomenal sipper. You probably could do an old-fashioned with it, which I wouldn't be opposed to. Well, that's this episode. We're going to see you on the next episode where we're trying something absolutely crazy, which if you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, you'll see what we're trying on future episodes. Life's too short to drink bad liquor, people. Choose wisely. I'm going to go have some fun. Cheers.